We will now focus on the two most popular types of legal entities in the United States, the general corporation and the LLC. Let's look at their main characteristics. Note that these are generalities only. Indeed, the corporate law of any state may contain provisions that modify or contradict these generalities. In other words, nothing can replace the wise advice of a lawyer specializing in American corporate law. Here are the main characteristics of a corporation. A U.S. corporation may have an unlimited number of shareholders. There is no requirement for shareholders, directors, or officers of a corporation to be U.S. citizens or residents, with rare exceptions. The corporation has a personality distinct from its shareholders. A corporation offers the possibility to raise capital through the sale of shares. It is usually easy to transfer the shares of a corporation. The corporation is taxed on its own income. And finally, the tax rate of a corporation is generally advantageous. With regard to the LLC, its main characteristics are as follows. The LLC may have an unlimited number of members. There is no obligation for members or managers of an LLC to be U.S. citizens or residents, with rare exceptions. The LLC has a personality distinct from its members. The LLC offers its members protection for their property. Generally, an LLC does not pay tax. The profits and losses of the LLC are allocated directly to its members in the proportion determined by them. The LLC offers great flexibility in its organization. Finally, there may be an elimination of usual corporate formalities if this is provided for in the LLC operating agreement. Here, we are talking about eliminating the task of preparing minutes, holding meetings, etc. But as you know, a small pencil is often better than a large memory. As a result, American lawyers always recommend that important decisions of the LLC be documented. To give you an idea of the popularity of the corporation and the LLC, let's take a look at some statistics. On average, more than 70% of the new entities created in Delaware are LLCs, and over 20% are corporations. For companies created through CorpoMax since 2001, 71% were LLCs and 28% were corporations. Finally, here are 3 points you should remember. Point 1. Choosing the type of legal entity, either a corporation or an LLC, depends on several factors. For example, if a Canadian corporation wishes to establish a subsidiary in the United States, it generally chooses the corporation over the LLC, particularly because of the potential tax consequences. On the other hand, it is often in an individual's interest to favor the LLC over the corporation. A U.S. lawyer, accountant, or tax expert is usually the right person to advise you in this regard. Point 2. In Delaware, the Public Business Register does not provide any information on the shareholders, directors, or officers of a corporation. However, corporations must file an annual report. This report contains the names and addresses of the directors and officers of the corporation. By paying the applicable government fee, anyone can get a copy of the annual reports of a corporation created in Delaware. As for LLCs, Delaware's Business Register also does not contain any information on an LLC's members or directors. Unlike a corporation, an LLC created in Delaware is not required to file an annual report. Point 3. Generally, it is possible to convert an LLC into a corporation, or a corporation into an LLC. So if a form of legal entity has been created by mistake, it is possible to correct the situation, sometimes even in as little as half an hour.